Episode 14 of the best music show on YouTube, The Third Shift. But this one a special episode, I feel like. I feel like it is, man. So, Drake, Kanye, toe to toe for basically, I feel like the whole music industry, man.
Oh yeah.
So what's been your thoughts on? Let's start with the beef, man. Let's just start with the beef. Let's get straight into it. That was what kind of turned our attention to. Oh, they about to try to do something bigger than, you know what I mean, them beefing and stuff. So what was your turning point where you're like, let me pay attention to what's going on?
Well, bro, I'll be real with you. I've kind of been monitoring the beef between them for the last couple of years because really, I mean, this stems back to 18?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and there was like a time for a little bit where it was kind of like, it was there, but they weren't really taking too many shots at each other. But I think now, bro, this is just like come to a head. So it's what everybody has their eyes on right now.
Yeah. I always been saying too, like, I almost want to say they are feeding it to us. Like, I almost feel like they are even playing it up more than what it is. Like, I feel like if they seen each other, like they bumped into each other at the studio or something, it's all love. Like, they gonna be like, yo, what's good. But I love it because I am very big into album rollouts. I enjoy a good album rollout. I want to be excited before the album drops.
Yeah.
So Donda was the first album we got to hear between this beef. What was your thoughts on it? What was your thoughts on it first day? First day listen, what was your thoughts?
First day, how many tracks is Donda anyways? I know
27.
27. So
yes.
I think we've addressed this 1,000 times over on the show, how we like the shorter listens.
Yes.
I felt like both of the albums for Drake and Kanye were both kind of like super long. They were super long. But I was okay with Donda. I think like we said, the features, that was the biggest thing I think that made Donda good. Yeah. But I do think Kanye did have some good stuff to say. I think he was like really personal with a lot of the tracks about his life and where he is right now.
Yeah.
So I was cool with it. You know, like the first listen, I was kind of like, but you know, you got to listen to it a couple of times to digest it, really, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say, I even texted you, like, hey, it's not that bad. Like, because, going back through it, you do find your cuts that are like, oh, okay, this is all right. That one song, Jail, is
Jail.
in my head. For some reason, like, the vocals of that song, like, guess who's going to jail? That's in my head, like, immediately. But one thing I will say, like you were just saying, the features was just I think he was very meticulous about the type of people he had featured on there, and I say it was meticulous because I know you were seeing Soulja Boy. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Soulja Boy is a whole clown, bro. But I love it though. I love it
too.
I love what Soulja Boy does, bro. He owes nothing back.
That was funny. He was saying he wanted to fight him, all this stuff, but I think Soulja Boy was one of the only people we knew that was vocal about not being on the album. I think it was probably tons of artists that recorded a whole song, recorded a whole verse, and didn't make it because we didn't get Chance the Rapper wasn't on there, right?
I don't think he was, no.
Chance the Rapper wasn't on there. Vic Mensa showed up in his like little pre-album rollout thing that he was doing at the stadium. He wasn't on the album.
Nope.
It was just I'm sure there was tons of artists that recorded.
Brown's supposed to be on there too?
I think so. So
it's really interesting, bro, but I kind of want to ask you about this difference between Drake and Kanye, and I think this is something that's super interesting.
Yeah.
People have always said that Drake's albums are kind of always centered around the singles that he puts out. This album didn't have any singles. I'm wondering, is it the same for Kanye? Because I know we got like little snippets of Kanye stuff, but like people were waiting for like the whole album. They weren't like, oh, like give us some singles. It was just like, this is the project. Take it however you want it.
You're actually the first person I've ever heard that from. I haven't thought about that at all, and I feel like most albums do kind of set the tone with a single,
right?
And these were two projects. They didn't really care for that. Like, they wanted people to want the whole project, which is cool because I always say too, like, we like short albums,
We
and
do.
then to add, if a single is good, that's what's gonna bring you into the album. Like, okay, the single was banging, I'm excited for the album now. And they kind of just, I feel like they pulled us on that. Like, hey, this is about to be lit. So leading into Certified Lover Boy.
Yeah.
I was about to say after Donda, everybody said whoever dropped second was probably gonna win the beef.
Yeah.
And I like Certified Lover Boy first day, which the Kanye Donda I didn't like first day. First day listen was but the Drake one I was like, this is cool.
Right.
The only thing that hurt me on the Drake album was my second, third, fourth listen. I'm like, good album, but it's nothing crazy good. Did you agree with that? Or
I agree too. And how many was it 26 for this? How many was it for this?
Certified Lover Boy was 21.
21.
Yeah.
So I feel like even 21 is kind of a lot. I do think the features for this one also kind of carried it.
Yep.
And like you said before, you're all about album ratios. There were about 6 to 8 songs that I really liked on this one. And to me, like 6 to 8 out of 21, I mean, that's like a third of the album. So like it's the other songs aren't bad, and I don't know if they'll just grow on me over time, but
right.
Like you, I'm with the ratio. I think it's important, and even for somebody like Drake, who's probably the best artist of our generation, you have to take that into consideration.
You do. Yeah. It's funny you say that too, because my boy Quan, every time he's a really big Drake fan. Like he's probably one of the biggest Drake fans I know. Him and my boy Kyle that we had on the show earlier.
Yeah,
them are two of my biggest Drake fans that are my closest friends. And Quan always says these songs gonna grow on you. And he said that about the last project he said that about was Views. Because I remember the first time I listened to Views, I was like, this is a good project. Nothing crazy.
Right.
Fast forward 3-4 years later, Views is his top 3 album.
The whole
thing straight through. So if that happens with this one, I'll be surprised still.
Right.
But I don't know what I struggle with the most about a Kanye and a Drake drop is the hype. The hype kills me. Like I want to like it because I like it. Like I don't want to like it because a Twitter account with 100 people is saying this is the best project ever dropped in his life. So I mean, what's your thought about albums getting hype before people even get a chance to listen and enjoy it?
I do think. I mean, man, that's just the world we live in. Because here's the deal. I always tell people, like, has Kanye done some BS over like the last couple of years? Said he done some BS? Absolutely. Yes. But I can't take away from his musical talent. But I think a lot of people, especially on social media, fail to realize that you can be a Kanye fan and you can be a Drake fan. You can like both. Like, it's really okay to like both of them. Like, you don't always have to have a comparison.
Exactly.
So I was hyped for Donda. I was hyped for CLB. And I think they're both growing on me now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just want people to understand, like, it's really okay to like both. And like, when other people are hyping it, like, don't be the person to be like, oh, well, I just don't like it because I don't like Drake.
Right.
Like, don't be that person. Like, it's okay.
Exactly. And music is the most subjective thing on this planet. Like, every person's not gonna like the same song. Like, that's absolutely impossible.
Right.
But we have to give them credit. I was telling this to a lot of people just what Kanye did. I mean, Kanye literally had everybody paying attention to this album release. Like, that's insane. Speaking in any music term, any art terms, anything like that, like what he was able to do this past couple weeks has been crazy. But I was about to say, so to add to CLB with Drake, he did get the single day streaming record for Spotify.
Right.
And I shared this on Twitter. Shade Room, the Twitter or the Instagram account Shade Room posted a poll on their Instagram story. The poll had 3 million views and over 800,000 votes for it. And it had CLB up probably about 80% votes, man. So I was like, I think I'm going with CLB, but to see it on that large of a scale of 800,000 people, I was like, you're not talking minority at that point. Like that's a majority vote with 800,000 people. So, and I feel like that wasn't hype. Like off of first listens, off of first week, the Drake album I think was better. If we had to choose, like you said, we can listen to both, we can enjoy both. But if I had to choose, I think Drake won the album beef, man.
I think he did too. And you know what's interesting to me for a couple of the tracks for both, are we gonna have, or will there ever be, an industry like Civil War? Because it's funny that they both have like a lot of the same features on their album, and it's like I've always thought that was super interesting because I even know, you know, you have like the Kendrick and Drake beef that's kind of like on the DL, but they both work with a lot of the same artists, and I've like always thought about that. I'm like, so how is this gonna work? And Drake and Kanye, I think, is the most prominent right now, and they both have Jay-Z on both their albums, Travis Scott, all these guys. Lil Baby, yeah. Yep. So it's like, you know, I'm just waiting for the day where like there's like a crazy divide if that ever happens.
Nah, it's funny you say that because I don't. Whenever it happens again, we will not expect it. Like this, what just happened just now was very. Oh wow! Like they going like these. This is two industry giants going at each other, and with that being said, too, is like you were saying, a lot of the features and stuff like that. Andre 3000 feature that Kanye got.
Yeah.
I want to say I remember the first couple episodes we recorded on here. You said you are a huge Andre 3000 fan. So what was your? Did you get a chance to listen to it?
Yeah. It's goated, man. And like I said, I think when you look at all the people it got praise from.
Yep.
Andre 3000, bro. I know people give him a lot of hell for those. They just say, "Oh, well, he's the best rapper and Outkast," but bar for bar on some of the songs he's featured on, man, he can hold his own. I think with the best of them. I just don't really like the way that he got kind of dragged into the situation or whatever. I think that was kind of bad on his, like, you know, everybody else's part, not really his. But nah, dude, it's just he came with the fire. I'll be real. He came with the heat on that.
But it's interesting what's happened though with. First of all, it was interesting that Drake leaked it. That was interesting. I've never heard of someone leaking someone else's song. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But the fact that Andre 3000 made it to the point where he felt like he had to say something about it.
Yeah.
And in that, I feel like that was almost him saying he ready to get back to work, man. Yeah. I don't know what that will be, or if it's just more features or all of that. But I still think, like you said, it sucked he had to be put in that situation where he really felt like he had to say something. Like, yeah, like I wasn't trying to be in all this. I was trying to pay homage to, I think, his parents or his mom, right?
His mom, yeah.
Yeah. So, it was a lot.
And that was kind of the thing I thought that really did suck about it, was because I feel like Kanye kind of had like some sort of underlying motive with it. But I'm like, dude, if this is a project dedicated to your mom and he's rapping about his mom, like, you got to put that stuff aside, and like you can't in that situation. I just thought it was a terrible situation.
It was, and then am I wrong when I say did Andre 3000 or somebody else said it was a different Kanye verse he heard?
I think he said it was a different one. Yeah.
See, that's a lot to deal with, and like you said, I hate he had to be in that situation.
I do think it's kind of cool though that in that statement, Andre 3000 talked about all the artists he wants to like work with, like Kendrick, Tyler, and all these guys. So,
that's what I was saying. Like, is this his hoorah? Like, yo, hit my line. Let's get to work.
To see where he has like if the next Kendrick album has like an Andre 3000 feature.
Oof.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
That's gonna be great. So the other part of, actually, we both agree Drake won the album beef. So what was your favorite song on Donda, and then we'll ask what was your favorite song on CLB.
Surprisingly, on Donda, Hurricane's up there. Like you said, Jail, I think, was one of the best ways you could probably start the album. I think that like the Jay-Z feature.
Yep.
No Child Left Behind actually is a good song. I just like it because it was on the ad.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought from that was like one of the first tracks we kind of got like a little snippet of.
Exactly.
I thought that was a favorite. Off the Grid was one we talked about. Off the Grid heat. So, like you said, I think for an album with that many songs, even if it's like 4, 5, 6, I mean, that's still, they're ones that I listen to. So.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I might have to make me like a little play, like Donda 2 or something, of a playlist of my favorite songs, because I have seen that. People have made their own set list of the Donda album to try to erase them songs that people don't really care for and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, that's such an interesting time we are in now to make your own playlist, say Donda 2 or the new Donda and stuff like that. And yeah, Off the Grid was probably on my top list. Jail, like I said, Jail was in my head off rip.
Yeah.
I think those are my two where I'm like, play a song from Donda right now. It'll probably be one of those two.
One of those ones
to get the party started. So CLB, man, what was your top songs on there?
I'm sitting here looking at this list right now.
Yeah.
I usually, and I don't know if we've talked about this, but Drake intros are always like a super big thing. Champagne's poetry is growing on me.
Yeah.
The first listen, I was like, like this isn't like a traditional Drake intro, but I like Champagne poetry. Fair Trade, obviously. No Friends in the Industry is my favorite song on there.
Yeah, that's hard.
And then the Kid Cudi feature, I Miss You Too. That's a good one. So it's there's a couple on here. Like I said,
I had to remind a few people of when Drake and Kid Cudi was beefing.
Yeah,
people didn't remember when to just add to whoever's listening. Drake was in his beef with Good Music. Basically, he was sending shots at everybody at Good Music. He didn't care who it was. And I think it was one particular bar where he was talking about Pusha T. And then he said something about Kid Cudi where he said, like, you were the man on the moon until you had all these mental issues, basically. That's basically what it was.
You were the man on the moon. Now you just go through your phases, life of the angry and famous. Yeah.
Yes. So I had to remind people of that, like, like, it's kind of crazy they are here. But I was telling people, too, there's probably some industry stuff. It's helping Kid Cudi's career. It's helping his streams, helping his pockets. Past that, they probably still don't even talk.
It's funny, too, because, like, sometimes when people like have those beefs, you can kind of see them like, talking or something. It was just straight up like, hey, Cleveland, like Cutter's on CLB. It's like, whoa, like we literally knew nothing. So I thought that was pretty,
Yeah, so that's why I feel like it was just some industry stuff. Like, hey, we got an open verse. Let's ask Cudi if you want to be on it.
Yep.
Let's do it. So other than that, I would have to say Fair Trade was hard.
Fair Trade.
That Way Too Sexy caught me by surprise.
The music video, too?
I think everything about it. I think literally from the chorus to everything about that song caught me off guard. And I like that. I like songs that are like, what is this? Young Thug came on there flowing. Like, I'm like, okay, this is kind of hard.
Yeah.
7 a.m. on Brittle Path. I kind of skipped by it the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
But I seen a bunch of like, I think I seen like DeRozan tweet about it or something like that, and I'm like, that was literally the tweet, like 7 a.m. on Brittle Path. I'm like, okay, let me go back and listen to this if it's resonating with him like that, where he just tweeting the song title. That's it.
I got to check it out again.
And then Race My Mind was hard. Fountains had me feeling like I needed a margarita, tacos somewhere. Like I said, it was a good project. It just wasn't nothing crazy now.
Right.
And I'm gonna be the first one to judge it a month from now, because that's how I work. I gotta hear what's new, and then I go back to what I enjoy listening to.
Yeah.
And if more of these songs start making that rotation, hey, I ain't gonna be mad.
I'm not either. I'll tell you, You Only Live Twice, I thought, with Lil Wayne and Rick Ross was I just like to think for the sake of the features, because I was like, we have some hard features.
Yeah.
One thing I did think was cool, the song is it Yeba's Heartbreak? Is that how you say it? Yeba's?
Something like that. Yeah.
The girl, she's dropping her debut album, I think, next week. And I'm like, we didn't know who she was until...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And people on Twitter, they were like, this is like what happens when you work with somebody like Drake. So, I mean... It is. She could be, I didn't know who she was till... I still don't know how to say her name. So I'm like, she could be somebody in the next couple of years we talk about.
That is true. Kind of like how he was trying to get into the drill environment. Yeah. That kind of faded away, but I still appreciated it. Like, he was still getting features from who was it? Who was he getting features? Yeah, Gigs. Yes, he was getting all them people on there. So I'm like, I like that Drake has always done that. Once again, that's probably some industry stuff too. Right. But either way, Drake's platform is the one you would want to do that for.
Right.
But these people still got to show up too. I said that about a Young Thug. Anytime Young Thug and Drake work on a song, I swear Young Thug has no intentions of missing whatsoever. Like, it's his best pin game every time.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's the type of mentality a Drake song brings out of people. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting. Like I said, it's CLB over Donda for me. Is it the same for you?
CLB over Donda for me.
Yeah,
even with the album cover.
Yeah. But I definitely wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about it, man, and chop it up, because that's literally what everybody been talking about. But at the same time, I'm still enjoying it. I enjoy all of the music conversations, everything that I've seen so far.
And the thing about this topic is, like, more and more just gets uncovered every day. Like, it's not like this is going away. So it's like, yeah, I think you get the two of the biggest rappers of our generation going at it like this. It's not going away anytime soon. So.
Exactly. I liked Kanye's album rollout. There was a lot of people that hated the whole process and all of that. I liked it because it was literally like a live listening party. If he did that without, I'm sure he was getting a lot of pressure from people putting dates out and stuff.
Yeah.
If there was never a date put out, it would have been insane. People would have been like, "What is he doing?" And I feel like that would have probably raised the prices of the tickets even more. I'm just trying to hear what he's doing in there. I'm just trying to see what's going on.
But the thing that's funny, I think too, is like, if Drake couldn't sell out an arena 3-4 times like Kanye did. I think Drake's bigger right now, but I don't think Drake could do that.
No. And it just added to the mysteriousness of it all, and like we said, that manic creativity that Kanye has, like, no one knew what to expect when they went into that stadium. So that's why I was like, that whole mindset, he was wearing the mask, like, it's just people mobbing out to music. Like, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But hey, I liked it. Anybody that was hating, I was like, if there wasn't a date for it, I feel like a lot of people would have changed their mind on it.
Oh, I think they would have too. I'm like 75-25. I'm like 65-35.
Okay.
Like 65 Drake, 35 Kanye. They're close, but I like both projects overall.
Yeah, for sure. So I was about to say, any last words, man, for the people or for these albums?
Just Baby Keem's apparently dropping. That's what I'm excited for.
Yep.
I'd say Drake and Kanye do better on your next album covers. But other than that, man, no, I've
to add to what you said, and people saying, Kendrick, you're next.
Kendrick's next. Everybody keeps saying the bar is set super low for him. So I'm like, hey,
Cole. You know what I hate about all of this? Cole got obliterated, bruh.
Oh yeah, he did.
That's what I hate the most about all of this. Cole got obliterated in all of this.
Right? He did. I haven't gone back to listen to his album. I don't know.
I haven't in a while, and I feel bad now because like literally everybody's saying like, all right, Kendrick, you next. Like, let's get to it, because I think the bar is set low.
I think it's
as far as like uniqueness, creativity, all that stuff. I think Kendrick has already done stuff that, you know what I mean, would have beat these rollouts in the past years. So
yeah, that's definitely been set pretty low for him, for sure.
So hey, man, that's it for me, man. Another episode of Third Shift. Anything else, man?
Nah, man, we'll just see him on the next one. Record store tour this weekend. We'll be down in Dayton.
Yes, sir.
Records. We'll be back up in Columbus for a couple more. So we'll just keep announcing them and keep putting them out.
Yep. Hey, man, it's Malik Cantley. We out of here, man.
Third Shift, out of here.